Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So now what I'll be doing is that I'll be taking you to a new topic for the SQL, right? And that particular topic is SQL correlated, SQL correlated, and here goes the sub queries, SQL correlated sub queries. Okay, so this is a topic that I will be taking you through, and we'll be discussing what's there in this particular topic, what are the things you're having, and all those things we'll be discussing up. Okay, so let me take out a color from here, and so that I could proceed on with the writing of the stuffs. Great, we go it here. Okay. First of all, I'll be telling you that what are these correlated queries used for, why we just use them, okay? So the correlated subqueries, correlated subqueries are used for row by row, by row. Correlated subqueries are used for row by row processing. So here I mention out the processing. Fine. So the correlated subqueries are used for row by row processing. Fine. Now into that each subquery is executed. Each subquery is executed once for every row. Each subquery is executed once for every row of the outer query, Fine. First of all, this is what is we call as correlated subqueries. So these correlated subqueries are used for row by row processing. Okay. Each subquery is executed once for every row of the outer query. Fine. Now, okay. Here we have one diagram as well that is completely that tells us and explains us how to use. And first of all, that what are these correlated subqueries that we have. Okay, so what I'll be doing is that I would be taking you to that particular diagram. Okay, then after that we'll be discussing the rest of the relevant left out things. Fine. So let's see that out particular graph. So here what I'll be doing is that I'll be taking out the squares. So here we go with the very first one. Okay, similar to that, I don't know how to make it out. And if I drag this okay, no, not this one will be dragged. Okay. Fine, let me just get down here for a short while. Let me from here take out the eraser. Okay, that has been rubbed. Fine. Okay, we take out the rectangle from here. Next again I have one more rectangle, so it would be somewhat like this. Okay, and now we have after this the third part, so I would be mentioning up here the very third part of this one. Okay, so it would be somewhat like this. Fine. Now what I'll be doing is that I'll be making out some several arrows, so like this. Yes, one is for this, one is for here. The another one is again for here, and the third one is okay. It won't be made out like this, so I would be making one arrow here like this, and rest I need to put on with the lines. So here goes, and here is my line. So here this is one line, and this is my another line. Great. So whatever the chart is wanted to make out, that has been made. Now basically what I'll be doing is that I'll be entering out and writing out the relevant stuffs inside this particular. Okay. So color and thickness. So here goes this particular. Fine. Let's write it out here. So here the first one we are having the get function. Okay. Here we have it for the execute. Okay, and here we have it for the use. These are the three ones which we are having. Okay. Then we have for get, we have the candidate row. Okay, one second. Candidate row from outer query. Okay, candidate row from outer query. For execute, we have inner query, comma using candidate row value, using candidate row, and here goes the value as well. Fine. And for the last one second, let me get out again some space. And for the last one, we have that these are the values from inner query, okay, these are the values from inner query. So yes, this is the chart which is being made up here regarding the get, execute and the use function right here which we are having. Okay, now next what we are having is that I would let you know that particular thing as well. So let me come down here for a short time. Okay, now I would mention it, but here a correlated subquery, a correlated subquery is evaluated once, a correlated subquery is evaluated once for each row, processed. A correlated subquery is evaluated once for each row processed by the parent statement, and here was the statement. Fine. Okay. So a correlated subquery is evaluated once for each row processed by the parent statement. Now, what is this particular thing that is getting set out? A correlated subquery is evaluated once for each row processed by the parent statement. Fine. Now, what are the parent statements as I was referring out here? So, the parent statements can be, what are the parent statements that can be right here? So the parent statements can be select, comma, it can be okay, one second, it can be select, it can comma be update, or it could even be the delete statement. Okay, this E is as with capital, and here goes the statement. So the parent statement that I was referring above into definition when I told you about a correlated subquery, that how is it evaluated and everything. So in that case, you just use out this particular word, that was the parent statement, right? So the parent statements can be these can be select, update, or even delete as well. They could be fine. There's no such issue in doing out that particular thing or not. Fine. So you could add any of these parent statements, and after that you could absolutely use out your correlated subqueries, whatever you are willing to use, or whatever you just want to apply, that works out fine. Yes. So hope I am first of all very much clear with this particular thing, right? That what it is and how it is gonna be. Next, let's quickly see out a quick example regarding this as well as quick syntax I would mention out. Okay. So we start with the select statement, select of the column 1 and select of the column 2. Okay, this is the column 1 and that is the column number 2. So putting out a comma. So from the table 1, and here goes the outer. From table 1 outer, we have a condition for the where clause. From table 1 outer, where column 1 operator, here goes the select statement for that. So here goes the select a column 1, select column 1, comma, and here goes the column 2, and here goes the column 2. And we have here from table 2, where expression expr1, okay, is equal to outer dot expr2. Fine. So where the column 1 operator, that is a select column 1 comma column 2 from table 2, where the expression 1 is equal to outer dot expr2. Fine. So basically a correlated query, okay, that's not a query, that's a quick of a correlated subquery. Okay, right. So a correlated subquery is one way of, let me just get down right here. A correlated subquery is a one way of reading every row, okay, fine, is basically for reading every row in a table and here goes the table, reading every row in a table, right, and comparing the values and comparing the values in each row. One second. Yeah, comparing the values in each row. Okay, in each, right here, fine. So yeah, reading every row in a table and comparing values in each row against the related data which we are having. Fine. Oh, one second, let me go above a little bit right here. So a correlated subquery is one way of reading every row in our table and comparing the values in each row against the related data. Fine. Now, when I just talk about the correlated subqueries, so in that we could say that these are used for row by row processing, right? Each subquery is executed once for every row of outer query. So what are the subqueries you are writing that is executed once? Okay, at least it is executed once for every row of the outer query, right? So here we have the get, execute, and the use functions as well. These are the three which I already mentioned out. So a correlated subquery is evaluated once for each row processed by the parent statement. Fine. The parent statements can be select, update, or delete statements. So this is the formula which is being used out. So a correlated subquery is one way of reading every row in a table and comparing the values in each row against the related data. Fine. So hope I am very much clear regarding this particular, first of all, that what is this particular one that we are having this correlated data subqueries, what are these and how are these used for, right? I will again repeat, these correlated subqueries are used for row by row processing. Each subquery is executed once for every row of the outer, one second. Yeah, for each subquery is executed once for every row of the outer query, right? So hope I am clear with this particular thing. So we'll be stopping up here onto this particular video only, and now we'll meet you in the next video with some more topics further. This is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.